Welcome to this video from in 28 minutes. Thanks for helping us provide awesome learning experiences to more than 300,000 learners across multiple platforms, Udemy, Safari and Pact. Let's welcome our lead instructor, Rangarao Karanam. One of the frequent questions that we get asked is what course to do next? And the thing is, I don't have one answer to that. The course you should do next depends on your context. And this video is meant to help you to decide which course you would want to do based on your context, where you are, what you know already, and what is the best thing for you to do next. As you would already know, we have a wide variety of courses that we offer at in 28 minutes, and you can look at them in here. So Java to Python in 100 steps, learn programming with Python in 100 steps, learn Java programming. I'm not sure how long these courses would be free for, but they are free for right now. And we have a lot of courses on unit testing, microservices, Hibernate, Spring Interview, Java Web Services, Spring Boot. So as you can see, we almost have 19 courses right now with about almost 200,000 students, right? How do you choose which course to learn next? If you are a beginning programmer and you are starting to learn your programming right now, I would recommend you to start with the Java course. So the Java Programming for Complete Beginners in 250 steps is an awesome course. It provides you all the details that you would need to know about Java and object-oriented programming. If you are more interested on the big data, machine learning and all that kind of stuff, I would recommend you to learn programming with Python. The other interesting course is if you are already aware of Java, then Java to Python in 100 steps would be an awesome course to quickly learn Python. So these are the three important programming related courses. Now, if you already know Java and you'd want to start learning Spring Framework, there are two courses you can consider to start learning about Spring Framework. The first course is the Spring Framework Masterclass Beginner to Expert. This is an awesome course. This helps you become a master at Spring Framework. The other course I would recommend is Learn Spring Boot in 100 Steps Beginner to Expert. Either of these two courses would be great. The thing you need to understand is Spring is the fundamental framework, but Spring Boot builds on top of Spring and makes it easy to use Spring. In most of the situations, you might not need to understand Spring Framework perfectly to be able to use it. If you really want to become an expert on Spring Framework and understand the in and out of everything related to Spring Framework, Spring Masterclass Beginner to Expert in 100 Steps is an awesome starting point. You would learn the basics of Spring Framework, including dependency injection, IOC container, application context, bean factory. We would be talking in depth about all these Spring annotations at AutoWide, component, service, repository, configuration, add primary, add qualifier, and all that kind of things. And we would write a lot of unit tests using XML, Java application context, Mockito, and a wide variety of other stuff. We would also be talking about Spring AOP, Spring JDBC, and a little bit about the basics of building web applications with Spring Framework. It's an awesome course if you would want to learn Spring Framework in depth. But if you are in a hurry, then you might start with Learn Spring Boot in 100 Steps. It's an awesome course. It does not expect you to know Spring. If you don't know Spring, it gives you a 1 hour introduction into Spring. Not very in depth, but whatever is needed to get started with Spring Boot. It helps you to develop a web application using Spring Boot. It helps you to develop a small RESTful service with Spring Boot, and all these are done with a lot of unit tests. So if you are looking to quickly get started, you don't really have a lot of time, I would recommend you to go to Learn Spring Boot in 100 Steps. So you know Java, you can directly jump into Learn Spring Boot in 100 Steps. The next thing you can do after learning Spring Boot is to learn how to develop SOAP web services and REST web services in depth. You would need to learn what is a web service, what is a SOAP web service, what is a RESTful web service, what are the best practices in building them, and the master Java web services and REST API with Spring Boot course is an awesome way to do that. You can see that it has got awesome reviews and it's an amazing course to be able to build your web services knowledge. Once you do that, you can go into the microservices architecture. You can go into the microservices course and see how architectures are being built using microservices, how Spring Boot and Spring Cloud make it very easy to develop microservices. The important thing to realize is these two courses, both of them have one common part, which is RESTful APIs. So this course also teaches you RESTful APIs, this course also teaches you RESTful APIs, but this course focuses on RESTful API and SOAP services, and this course focuses on RESTful API and Spring Cloud. So if you don't really worry about SOAP services, then probably you don't need to do the Java Web Services course and directly can jump into the microservices, which would teach you REST and it would teach you microservices. Now, what are the other courses that we have which you would want to consider? Number one is if you'd want to become an expert on Hibernate and JPA. If you are using JPA and Hibernate extensively, you would definitely want to consider the Master Hibernate and JPA course. You can see that it has amazing reviews and it helps you to learn not only the fundamentals, but also it helps you to understand Hibernate and JPA in depth. We also have two interview courses. Java interview guide is updated up to Java 8 and it contains a quick reference of some of the important interview questions that you would be asked during Java interviews. And Spring Framework helps you to answer interview questions on Spring, Spring Boot, RESTful Web Services, SOAP Web Services, and Spring MVC. So those are the important parts that we would be covering as part of our Spring Framework interview guide. The other area you might want to focus on is unit testing, and we have three great courses related to unit testing. The first one is to teach you the basic unit testing frameworks, which are JUnit 4 and JUnit 5, and that's what the Learn Java Unit Testing with JUnit 5 teaches you. If you'd want to become an expert at unit testing with Mockito and Power Mockito, then this course would be the best alternative. Learn unit testing with JUnit and Mockito in 30 steps. If you're using Spring Boot and you're doing a lot of unit testing, then Master Java Unit Testing with Spring Boot and Mockito would be an awesome course for you to do. This would also cover the basics of Mockito. It will not be an extensive course where we cover all features of Mockito, but we do touch upon Mockito a little and we'll help you to understand what it is and all that stuff. But the focus is on Spring Boot and unit testing with it. We'd be testing REST controllers, we would be testing business logic, we would be testing data JPA stuff during this specific course. The last but not the least important of these is the Maven tutorial. Dependency management is something you keep doing as a Java developer, and you need to have in-depth understanding of Maven, and this is what this course enables you to do. We are creating a lot of courses on architecture. Java EE Made Easy is one of the first courses we created long time back. As you can see, this is 2016. So this is a little bit old course teaching about architecture related to Java EE. Very soon we should have more courses on architecture down here. We are currently working on a course on how to become a Java architect, how to think as an architect. So probably it would be out here. But our main focus in the long term would be on creating courses which will enable you to become a full stack developer. I hope this guide was useful in helping you make a choice of which course you would want to do. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments and I would definitely get back to you. In 28 Minutes is providing awesome learning experiences to 300,000 learners across platforms like Udemy, Safari Online, and Pact. We have clocked million hours of learning in the last few months. The question is, what do you want to learn next? We are building solutions to help programmers at all levels. You can learn programming with our awesome courses on Java, Python, and JavaScript. You can learn full stack development with REST APIs and microservices with a wide range of frameworks like Spring Boot, Node.js, React, Angular, and Spring Cloud. We have 200 plus videos to help you start your journey from a programmer to a software architect. We have videos to help you learn frameworks, industry trends, including things like microservices. Learn the best practices in architecture, design, and code quality. Thanks for watching. Keep learning in 28 minutes.